I definitely ran into it. I definitely had to sue people. I definitely won the civil lawsuit, but couldn't find them after that. So still I get paid.
What are the things that you look out for before you like, I'm going to make an investment with this person?
I went through a 16-year custody battle over my son.
Okay. What?
And so,
here we go.
Money, making crap for money.
What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me, but you stay for the guests. What's going on? Miss Heather Allen is in the building.
It's been a day, but I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad the Lord allowed me to open my eyes today. Just thankful.
Thank you so much for being here. We know you always have a tight schedule that you have to
stop playing. I don't have anything to do this afternoon, so I'm chilling in the pod today. I'm chilling at the studio today.
You cooling?
I'm cooling.
I got you. Miss Allen.
Yes.
We got a guest today.
We got a guest today. Are y'all ready? I don't know if they're ready. I really don't know if they're ready.
My guest is so fly.
Man, how fly is he?
Today, we are joined by a powerhouse in the world of mentorship and community and advocacy, Mr. Vincent Ellis White. Yes.
Tell us what are you about.
If you don't know him, you might need to know him.
Right.
His unwavering commitment to guiding and uplifting young people, especially young black men. Mr. Vincent has dedicated his life to creating opportunities where many only see barriers. Through his work as a mentor, not just a mentor, but an author, not just a mentor and an author, but a speaker. He is reshaping narratives, challenging systemic inequities, and building the leaders of tomorrow. Mr. Vincent, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing? Appreciate the intro.
Look, first of all, we just got to thank you for coming in here, taking time out of your busy schedule.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We see here on Conversations Unearthed, we are a financial-based podcast, and we understand that time is your biggest asset, so we appreciate you spending some of your time currency with us. We just want to welcome you and give you your flowers. Thank you so much for being here. It's definitely
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
It's an honor.
It's an honor for us to sit here.
For sure.
All day.
For sure.
So tell us about your day. How's your day been?
How my day's been? Well, so you know what happened on Tuesday, right? Y'all aware of that with the federal spending getting paused?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. That affected the world literally by trillions, but particularly me, it affected all of my jobs, really.
Wow.
A lot of my people that I serve get federal funding. My main job is in rapid rehousing, and so that's HUD, that's direct federal funds. And so what happened on Tuesday was we woke up and it was catastrophic. And so to the point where bills couldn't get paid, SNAP was frozen, Medicaid was frozen. Even things that might be small to us but big to them, like we pay their Wi-Fi, we pay their phone bill. Some people had stuff that was supposed to get paid that day or they get shut down. We had to stop that. Our paychecks was in question because it's nonprofits. And so nonprofits have a lot of federal funding and grants. So how was my day today is still coming from Tuesday, you know what I mean? So Tuesday was nuts. Wednesday was the same, but a little bit better. Even though they rescinded it or it's not frozen anymore, we still dealing with all the effects from that because some things are behind. So that's how my day was in regards to that job. But personally, my day was really good because I'm able to toggle between things well, even though I don't like to do it all the time. A lot of toggling, but I'm an energized person, man, as you saw in the party. So I wake up and I'm dancing in the morning. I pray first, but I'm dancing in the morning and I'm moving around. I'm always energized. So I found my ways to make the day better. You know what I'm saying? For me, talking to my people and jamming in my car sessions, jamming in the car. And
what's
all
the
that.
one song you turn on? Tell me what's the one song like just to get you in the right mood artist.
Oh, artist. Well, I'm a hip hop head forever, right? But I like to sing too. Like I sing all the time. I do these things in my stories called car concerts, and I just put on like a song and then just like either rap it or sing it. I don't have one like new song right now, but I go through these spurts where I play a certain person for days. It's gonna tell my age, so I'm sorry, but what I've been on the last few days is playing Bobby Brown, right?
Okay, if y'all was wondering how old he is, that tells you enough.
That tells you right there. Yep.
And we love it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been jamming to for days. It's a song called "Good Enough." I've been playing it probably the last 2 days straight. I've been calling people, leaving voice notes, singing "Good Enough" to them, and so they be laughing. I do it all the time.
Shout out to the people that done got voice notes from you this week.
Yeah.
You got a young
and when I pull up to
Sinatra.
the light and I'm rocking, the people on the left and right. So I'm a comedian on the left too.
Yeah.
But they be laughing like every time. I be going crazy by myself. They be laughing delight. So get them on the left and on the right some joy too. But that's how I gotta get through my day. Cause my days be crazy. They be hectic. They be switching jobs. I got like jobs plural. I got community stuff that I pop out to. Like come straight off work, come straight here. Like that's been my life forever.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
I gotta find my own joy. You know what I mean? If I can't find it.
I love it. So I heard in the intro, I heard author, also an entrepreneur.
All the above.
Okay. So walk us through that part of your life, how, we got to get into finances just a little bit, how the entrepreneurship journey has really, how has it changed you?
Yeah. Well, so I got thrown into the entrepreneurial journey when I dropped my first book. And, well, I was in the process of making my book, and I didn't know how to reap the benefits as far as like my finances, right? I just was trying to put the book out. I was focused on the book, and when I did it, I forgot who I partnered with, but somebody came to me and was like, "You got to get an LLC." I was like, "For what? I don't want an LLC."
What is your
I just want to drop
about?
the book or whatever, and they was like, "Nah, if you do it this way, you can go to this distribution company, and you can get the most profits back when they go to Amazon and Barnes Nobles or whatever." So I set it up like reluctantly, but that was the start of it. And that might have been like 2012, 2013. And it worked. I mean, and I was figuring out along the way, but that's when I got my LLC, my tax ID, and like I started moving, opening bank accounts and all of that. From there, and I was like, all right, I did it just for the book, but from there, as I started advancing, I started doing other things, speaking engagements and doing partnerships with schools, churches, and so we was doing contracts and MOUs. And I'm like, oh, like I really need to like know about business, and so that's where I really started my journey from then. It started expanding as I started doing more things and trying to put them under my own emblem and whatnot, and so and my own brand. And I realized that I'm the main, like I'm a brand, but then also I got subsidiaries from me being a brand as well. So that's where my journey began in regards to business. Then I had a moment in 2018 where I came into a good amount of money and I started doing investing. So I probably hit it big like you, but I started having a couple.
I ain't hit it big yet, y'all. Shout out to the IRS.
Don't big low like that.
No.
I did. I was doing what's called you're social impact investing. So I did like social impact investment. So everything I do, whether I work, whoever I connect with, I got to make some impact, some type of way, or I'm declining it. That's been my whole life, right? And so that's everything you see me touch will be involved in that. But even my investments had to have some type of impact on the community or socially, and so. I may turn down something that may just be lucrative, but I don't really have no connection or I don't feel like it's impactful. Versus I may do something that I still want to make money regardless, but it may not be the thing that's going to be as lucrative, but the impact of it made me want to make. So social impact investing. So I started doing that maybe for 2018, for about maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago.
So did you like find these online or were these like local social impact investments that you were making?
Yeah, it was local. It was local because I was scared to like really like I was scared to invest my money in somebody I didn't know. Okay. I was even scared to invest in people I knew, but definitely.
I mean, we can talk about it.
But especially not in people I didn't know, and so me being a community figure already, it's I can pick up my phone or text whatever. I can reach 100 major individuals too, as well as if I tell them what I want to do, they'll connect me to students and all that stuff. So I did that. I connected with my man Sean Powell, who would be a great guest to y'all, by the way.
Okay.
But
shout out to Sean Powell.
He do a lot of heavy stuff in the city, and he had a spot called Workshop right downtown near Common House, and he had a bunch of young interns in there. There was all business. They had clothing, they had vintage clothing line, they had just all kind of products that they were selling that may only need like a little small seed of like $5,000, $10,000 for marketing or products or whatever it is. So you would invest in stuff like that? Yeah. Oh, wow. How I started it. And I would draw up contracts. Now, my best friend's a lawyer, so I would like call him and run through him when it's done. But I would try to create it myself because I did that in the past. When I had my books, I used to have a traveling stage play. And so I would make the contracts with the locations. And and they looking back, they probably was some trash, contracts.
Yeah.
But like at the time, I did it
We ain't
myself.
have Chat GPT yet for all that.
Not at all. Not nowhere near.
Exactly.
But did the check clear?
Check always.
Okay, all right, then
we ain't going forward to check.
That's important there.
Yeah. And so, but we can have that conversation too, in the sense of when I started my investing route. People told me like things you might run into. I definitely ran into it. I definitely had to sue people. I definitely won the civil lawsuit, but couldn't find them after that. So still I get paid.
What?
And so I have these conversations with
And
people
he's
about
gonna find his
financial
money. Don't worry, God
I'm
got
still
you.
looking.
Whoever ran off on him.
Still looking for sure.
It's coming.
So and so I got a lot of people that approached me because they were seeing when I was heavy with investing. I felt back there, but when I was heavy, it was publicized. So not that part, but just that I was doing it. And me being public facing, a lot of what I do is publicized. So people was coming saying, "How can I get in it?" And I always had that conversation with them because they don't think about that part.
Only
even to the point
you're
where
willing to lose.
I go in there, I win, but I lost because I ain't got my money. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Or like you lost because you trusted somebody, or whatever it is. So that's a conversation I have with people. On my difficult conversation, I talk about stuff like that too. Like we talk about all the stuff. We're talking about the glamorized parts. I'm gonna invest and make money. What about when they don't pay you? What about when y'all fall out? Like how the hell all things happen?
You said something about you didn't want to invest in with people that you didn't know, but you also were a little skeptical about investing with people that you do know. Let's run through that.
What you want to run through?
Like, okay, it's because there's people that we know that'll reach out and be like, because they know we're doing good. We're obviously talking about financial literacy. You were investing, so people want to. But then, what are the things that you look out for before you like, I'm gonna make an investment with this person?
If I know them, right? If I know them, one, knowing me, I gotta know like what capacity I already know them in. Like, is it professionally, personally? Anything like that. Then how do I know them? Like, how close are we? I talk about patterns all the time. I always tell people I study people, and so like patterns will tell you so much about people. So example to that, if I know somebody and they got like a great idea, like you saying we close, but your pattern has been either you don't pay your bills or you constantly get into trouble or whatever the thing that look like a bad investment business wise. I'm probably not gonna go that route. Yeah, and we only have to talk about anything else because your foundational pattern was enough for me to be skeptical, and I feel like my gut is immaculate, so I go with that. That may be I probably look at the pattern first, or if I don't know a pattern per se, I look at like the fruits of what they're doing, who they are, and the fruits of what they're doing, and that still don't tell you all the way, but that might give you an indication possibly. What else? And that's them. Before I even get to a product or a service, I need to know the person. That's just me. Yeah. Some people don't care about that, but that's important to me. So then we get past the person. Then, I'm looking at the product and then I'm looking at like, statistics and like, all those things, numbers, and all those right. But before that, I got to feel comfortable because I've seen somebody that had successful products or services that want me to get involved with them. I'm like, I don't feel right. Something don't feel right with them or whatever.
You like, no.
And I don't just chase like, just money. Like it got to have impact to me. I've tried that route, but that's not the way my heart is built.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. You got fire round questions up?
I do, but I'm just very interested in your story.
Oh, you got more. Go ahead.
Because, I mean, for one, I was watching this documentary that you had about finding your father. You've written a book. You've been on, what is it, like Broadway? It's not Broadway, but it's like you've done shows at theaters. I did everything. You've done everything. Like, what's... I don't even want to ask what's next because I feel like it's already brewing. I guess I just want to know how what you're doing now correlates to your story. Because as somebody who grew up the way that you did, this is not everybody can take away the lessons that were taught to you at a young age, whether they be bad or good, respectful or disrespectful, and create something that is beautiful. So I just want to know how all of this it has translated. Just, I guess, take me back to when you were a kid. What things may have affected you then that have like created the person that you are now?
Yeah, great question. So when I was a kid, I'm trying to find like the short and sweet answer.
Yeah, we can do just
when I was a kid, I grew up with my mom as the only and main parent in my household, and I was really close to my aunt and my grandmother and my grandfather. My dad that I thought was my dad is the only dad I grew up knowing. His name was Vincent Lopez Mapp, and I was named after him. Vincent
Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another thing that you probably didn't find on the it might be on the documentary, is growing up until from birth to 21, I was Vincent Lopez Matt III.
Wow.
Yep. And
Wow.
so I was named after him, right? And so anyway, but when I grew up, my upbringing, he was incarcerated. He was constantly in and out of jail. So he was a repeat offender, and so I knew I grew up under him, but he wasn't home often. He was more so in jail. My mom would take me to visit him in jail. I visited him regularly every week. But I was raised by her, and my grandma and my aunt was my village, and all of that. To tap into and I'm gonna talk back and forth, but to tap into what came from that, good or bad, like you said that. So I would say one thing that somebody might consider bad is my trust. I don't have a lot of trust.
Yeah.
And that probably and me coming from studying, working in child welfare, social work, and mental health. I definitely can see where that derived from. Because the first people that I was supposed to trust, violated me, not in no crazy way, but just in this fact of not being trustworthy.
Yeah.
And so, and I'll tell you how. So I just want to point that out before I forget it. But I grew up thinking that was my father, and then at 16, my mom sat me down, and she was like, I want to tell you something. And she was like, the person that you know is your father, and I'm like very, very close. Even though they're in jail, I'm like, that's my guy.
Right.
And she said, that's not your biological father.
Wow.
And just told me that kind of, just out the blue randomly, didn't prepare me for it. And so I had 100 questions, but, I asked them, and she really couldn't answer many, or maybe chose not to. But all she gave me was a name. She said his name was Chris Anderson. And I just couldn't believe it, 'cause all I knew was he went by Big Lo, and I was called Lil Lo for Lopez. And so everybody that know me from Southside Richmond, just when I was young, they called me Lil Lo.
You're like, this is a part of me. What are you talking about? Yeah.
All I knew, so I felt so many emotions at that moment. I'll tell you what it was. It was ironically, it was relieved, because even though I loved him, I was embarrassed. My friends knew he was in jail. I was visiting him in jail, and I used to tell them that he was in school because my mom told me he was in school. And so I was spreading this lie. So there's so many things that's wrapped in that I didn't realize I was older. But I'm spreading lies. One, I thought it was the truth, but then I'm spreading to people, and then my friends is like, he ain't in school, and so then I'm learning that too. So I get laughed at, I get in arguments, I get in all that stuff around him to find out he's not my father. So I felt relieved, ironically.
Yeah.
As well as I was hurt and embarrassed and confused, because I didn't know this person or this name they told me about. So I just knew the name. Again, we talked about showing my age, so this wasn't a time where I could go look him up. You know what I'm saying?
You had
So
to
it
go
was
to the
old
phone
school.
book, the yellow pages.
It was old school. So I went basically, to try to shorten the story as best I can. I went from age 16 to 27, searching for him.
Searching for him,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So trust in the sense of me and my mom, very, very close then and to this day. She was at the party. That's how close we was. She was there.
Okay.
Everybody loved my
Shout
mom.
out to
My
mom.
mom dope as hell, right? But she didn't share this secret with me, either. And so that temporarily violated trust with her. Violated trust with Lopez, because you run around here saying my daddy and you're not, and everybody know it but me.
Yeah.
Violated trust with not too many. It was a family secret, so not too many people knew, but at least the two people that you're supposed to start off fully trusting 100% validated that for me. So that's why I went back to now. Once you got my trust, you got it until you F it up.
Right.
Yeah.
But it just take me a while to trust, because I'm always looking you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it sucks to be like that sometimes. Now, I say that's possibly negative, because I can definitely see how, especially as a mental health and social worker. But the positive side is my discernment always been on 100 from my mom. My family just has it. I ain't talking on no crazy, for those that believe in that, but I ain't talking no spirits or all this stuff. I'm just saying my natural spiritual discernment in me, is on point. All my friends call me for advice. They run a scenario by me, and I'm going to tell you, here's what he probably gonna do. Here's what she gonna do, and it come back like that. And in 20 plus years, they call me for stuff because
We need
of
to
that.
get his number.
No, listen.
Okay,
it really
hold
does.
on.
I'm telling you.
Wait.
That's why I said I
So, what you think about this?
With
I need
stuff
to
like
ask
that-
all the questions. I probably should have been asking you some questions today.
They tell y'all, because
Yeah.
it don't sound right, but they'll tell you. They're like, nah.
Yeah.
But they So I say to say my trust be a little iffy with people, because I really study people. I'm looking at things. I'm just watching. You know what I'm saying?
But it seems like that may give you
An
a
advantage.
leg up.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's a double-edged sword because
Right.
that it does, and it's prevented negative things from happening to me. And my friends like, how you notice that? I'm like, yo, I seen when he had his collar up right here. I seen the way he was looking at everybody. Like, and they like, yo.
Yeah.
So it thwarts a lot of negative situations. But on the opposite side, it's just a trust thing. You know, like I said, I'm not the person that can't have it, but it just take a while.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm big on morals and values, so I be making mistakes sometime of like how I give it up is how I think you're supposed to give it up and give it back, and it don't be that way. You know, so like loyalty and like all those things, transparency. I'm big on all that, and my friends in here now they would laugh like, here he go talking about that again. I'm gonna throw that
They
word
sick of
at
your
you.
shit.
I'm gonna throw that word at you. I'm gonna tell you if you violating it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, Brianna, do you remember when you told me that you was gonna do this and this?
Yeah.
And you be like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, here's what you did now. How does that align with this? What's the problem? That's how we talk. You know?
Wait, what's your sign?
Virgo.
That's my mama.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, well.
Is your mama meticulous and all that?
Yes.
Yes, that sound like Mary.
100%.
That
Most
sound like
definitely.
Mary.
See, I thought you was a Taurus because I'm a Taurus,
Word.
and I do the same thing. Like, but my discernment is not as good as yours because I test out the waters first, and then I end up getting burnt.
Oh shit.
So I know, right? And that's happened. That's happened mostly in business. So I feel you when you say, you know, you've been invested and shit didn't work out.
That make me mad.
It's like, hey, yeah, I can. We can
Them
get
lawyers, that lawyer talk. I'm glad you got a lawyer on your
Yes.
side. I heard you say your best
I
friend's
have
a
an
lawyer.
amazing lawyer now. Yeah.
You need that
Well,
in your
I deal with
corner.
lawyers in a couple of ways, right? So my best friends are lawyers, so I learned that side from that. I've had a lawyer for a long time because I went through. It's so many stuff.
It's so much layers. Yeah.
I went through a 16-year custody battle over my son.
Okay.
And so
16?
Yeah, 16.
16. Yeah. Long time.
It was well known in this city too because it was like a it wasn't like no big case like that, like no newsworthy case at all. But I have a heavy following, and
Right.
so a lot of it was publicized. And then I ended up getting custody of my son in middle school, and it was a major feat because black fathers don't really get custody
Yep.
a lot. So it was a big thing. But I say this to say my lawyer, shout out to Misty Whitehead.
Okay, shout out to
to
Misty.
She's now on the Henrico board of supervisors now, so she moving into the political world. But she just as they say when the lawyers are good, they say they're bulldog or pit bull.
Yeah.
And that's her. Like she don't play. When I met her, she said that she fights for fathers that are being like
Yeah.
wrong. I said, oh, I want her. Like
Yeah.
she already came highly recommended by people that I really believe in. And so when I met her, she said that, I knew the type of fight I had. I needed a pit bull, and I got one.
Yeah.
And I recommended her to
God
so
gonna
many
give you what
people.
you need.
Listen, no, and like she listen. Just look her up. You already? I only got
Okay.
seconds.
Yeah, like
Look her
Misty
up.
We're gonna look
Whitehead.
Misty. We're gonna look up Misty.
We looking her up.
She's
We
doing
looking
heavy
her up.
stuff in the city of Richmond.
Yeah.
Like another person I had on my first difficult conversations panel. She been another one to have on here. I got 100
Yeah.
guests. For you.
Okay, listen, rack them up.
Look,
we ready.
the
We're
difficult-
gonna have a
first
whole,
of all,
we're gonna have
the-
a whole year booked out messing with him.
But
Listen,
look,
tell me.
the difficult conversations is like chef's kiss to me because I love having difficult conversations.
dope?
Yeah.
The shit that people don't want to talk about,
I love it.
I be like, no, let's talk
Let's
about
talk
it some
about
more.
it. What's the
Talk
one?
about
What's
it
your
some more.
favorite
What we want to talk
conversation?
about? That's what I say all the time.
What's
Yes.
the favorite difficult conversation that you've had? Like, I guess publicly.
Publicly, yeah.
Publicly or privately.
Well, yeah. I mean, either or. We like to talk about it all.
My favorite one I had publicly was at the Well Collective.
Okay.
So I curate and moderate all my difficult conversations, right?
Wow.
Why that's important is because this one was called the stereotype of the angry black woman. And so
I like that.
it's a guy hosting it though, right?
Right.
So, all my guys that usually pull up whatever, or people on social media was like, they gonna come for your head, they gonna tear your head off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I welcome it. So I started playing against. I started
Right.
making videos. I was like, what y'all saying? Y'all want to talk about this?
Yeah.
Y'all get called that? Why y'all need to pull up? You know. So I was trying to like gas it up and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I did low key have like a thing like they were trying to come for my head, but it was just dope. I knew it was gonna be a fiery topic.
For sure.
But it was just really amazing. Like, I really got to hear the perspectives of like black women, what they're going through. Like I always hear it on the side, but it might be my people. But I got to hear just from randos in there as well as people that I knew on their personal experiences. All of mine have been amazing though, but that's one that stand out because I'm gonna tell you why. People got real passionate over that, right?
Yeah.
They passionate in all of mine, but that one was
Oh,
the
yeah.
one time I can remember that I had to really tell people to kind of simmer down. I simply don't have to do that
because we don't play about that topic.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so that's why.
Why you coming in my neck?
That was my one that they got turned a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Like, I had to do like actually at the Well Club they got this thing where like you take a beat and y'all just pause and kind of like chill. I never had to use that.
But that
Okay, you had to pull that joint out the pocket.
Like, all right, everybody, hold, and they like going at each other. Hold up.
Wait, so this was a live podcast or was it
not pod, but it's like a panel.
a
like
panel?
Okay, I got
Okay,
you.
so you were doing it in front of an audience.
Yeah, always the audience in there, like
Wow.
each time. Yeah.
When
yeah.
is the next one? I gotta be in the building.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on, because I got more questions. So was it
Women.
women against women on? Was it women on the panel or
So
was
my
it just
panel was all women.
Okay.
But in the audience was women and men.
Okay.
okay?
Does the audience get to ask questions?
100%.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
we
not
gotta
there
come to the next one.
I'm not there
Yes.
to lecture.
What's
for
on the
an hour.
calendar? Canceling
You
whatever
said
that
wait. You
is.
said it's February what?
February 20th at the Common House.
February
I'll send y'all
20th at
the
the
link.
Common House. Yeah,
Yay.
send us the link.
I'm about to
Send us the
DM it to
link.
you. I'm gonna DM it to you.
What time we looking
Yes,
at?
I
It's
put my
6 to
number in
8:30.
there too. So
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, listen, man, we've been doing them joints. I'm saying we, but I've been doing a difficult conversation for about 3 years.
Okay.
And had some of the dopest guests on there. And it's just I'm like you. I like to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Working in child welfare. I've been in front of judges 3-4 days a week, like
Yeah.
every week. I'm removing kids from their biological parents' home at 2 a.m. Like just the craziest conversations that they're difficult. You got to have them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not claiming expert. I always tell people that I ain't claiming expert. I struggle, but I just have them often.
Yeah.
And so that's where it derived from. I was sitting at work one day working on a foster care plan, and the program manager came out was like, "What you doing? Because I be intense, like because it's a serious situation when it comes to the children." So I was writing it, and she was like, "What do you do?" At the time, I probably had like 7-8 jobs. I just paused, like trying to figure out what should I say.
That be me now.
And she was like, I said, and I don't know where it came from, but now I know it was divine. But at the time, I said, I have difficult conversations with people on a regular. Something like that. And she said, really? And like she was so intrigued by that. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
I don't never answer like that, but I did. And she just asked me would I be willing to put a program on the Common House to just do that, whatever. And I said, if you give me, I'm a negotiator too. I'm like, you give me this amount of money, and you give me autonomy to just do the whole thing. Y'all just make sure y'all market it for me, blah blah blah, provide the space. She said it's all yours, and I've been their partner ever since. That's been 3 years.
So they're sponsoring this event.
No, not really. Well, I mean, I don't think of it as sponsoring.
Okay.
But I think partnering only because they
Partnering,
pay
okay.
me and I use the space and I'm a member though, so I already can use space anyway. But
Okay.
I say partnering, but I wouldn't be mad at sponsoring in the sense of like it is like that too. But I've just never looked at it. They were looking at it more as a partnership.
Right.
Same as Well Collective, partnership for sure. But like I just started, I was like, okay, and I know how to put events together, even though I never did this. And so I was like, all right, I know everybody would say, Vince, everybody. So I just started calling people. I was like, all right, let me see. Right at that time, we had some police brutality happening here, and the whole city was like turned up about it. Right, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get representation for everyone. My first one, I had the head of HR, chief of staff for Richmond PD, which was major. Antoinette Toole. And then I had Misty Whitehead, my lawyer, on there, who I know can tackle custody as well as the criminology piece.
Oh, wow.
So then I had my god sister, who was director of counseling for Henrico Schools, Lakia Butler.
Not you,
And
but the heavy hitters
Right.
from
Yeah.
each
I
field.
wanted the audience to be able to ask
Wow.
them questions.
That's
And
crazy.
people get up there and be scared sometimes, So like I knew these three, they got it. They do it all the time.
That's what's up.
So the audience was like throwing questions at them, and they just was, handling it. And so end up like we laughed, we cried. It was amazing. We fed them and all of that. And after people was like, when the next one, And so I only had plans for one. And so after that, I just started doing it quarterly and rotating guests. My initial goal for it was to have only Black women on. It's gonna be like a Black excellence showcase, which I like the idea that I did that for the first year, but then of course everybody's saying, why you don't have guys on? Why you don't have, this person, that person
Because
on?
we need a platform.
Ooh, the people will
Let me
tell
stop.
you what they want.
They will.
Yeah, they will.
Yes.
And it's twofold though. Like I could definitely keep going forever doing the way I did it, and I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But same time, like I'm big on impact, and I know to reach more people, I gotta give some variations. And so I had an all male one. I had my man Todd Waldo. I think Waldo. He do everything in the city. Just look him up. And then I had Roscoe. You probably know Roscoe Burnham, possibly. Yeah, Roscoe's on there too. So we did poetry. First questions I threw out the gate for them, everybody cried. Like, first question.
Really?
What was the question?
It was asking about their family, like about their daughter and their upbringing. And so they shared and I didn't even know everything about their upbringing, but they shared it. And next thing you know, so look, when I have them, my intent on purpose is I'm trying to pierce. Like, when you come on my joint, I need to be ready because I'm trying to dig into your soul. Like, I'm trying to do that. Tell me about
prepared.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So that's why I said y'all can ask me anything because I can't dish that out if I can't take it, and I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever, it don't matter. No.
So I want to get into this Forbes Black thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, not everybody can put that on their Instagram.
That's true.
Bio.
That's a fact.
That they affiliated with not just Forbes, but Forbes Black.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? How did we get to that?
Yeah.
That's actually not a real elaborate story. The being a part of it is though, but they reached out. And I can't tell you how. People reach out to me all the time. And they don't really share with me how. That's why I think I actually.
You know me.
It's been happening forever, but like they reached out and was like, we see. It's kind of like you. It was like we see this dope stuff you do in the community, but they're based in Atlanta. So I'm like, y'all seen it? You know? They was like, yeah. And I had to submit some stuff to them, and then they accepted me into this cohort they was starting. It was the first one.
Wow.
A brand extension off of Forbes. Forbes, and then this other program, I forget what it is, but they were pouring in like 50 to 150 million into this program for like Black entrepreneurs.
It's recent though, right? In the past like 5 years, Forbes Black.
Less than that, yeah. I went to the the conference, the inaugural conference like 2 years ago. So I mean, I saw a lot of Richmond faces there too, which was dope. But also, I met people from Germany when I went to the conference, like all over the place, and they put me to shame, yo. Like when I got there, and after that, we went there with my head high.
Am I him still?
But I didn't think I felt like this, and it wasn't meant for that. But it's just when I talk to people, you doing what?
Yeah.
Yo, like you talking about excellence. Like I was just overwhelmed. I couldn't believe like it was like 200 people. And they got international businesses, and they got 6-7 figure, like they killing it.
Yeah.
And when I left there, I was like, I gotta step my shit up because it was amazing.
Yeah.
So just being in that, involved in that, add that to your repertoire, and your resume. I missed the last conference, and I was so mad at myself. I missed it. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Where was it? It was in Houston.
Atlanta was the one I went to. Was the first one. The second one.
I feel like I'm on the email list. That's why I was like, I feel like, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and we can recommend people too. So let me know.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, I got some yes or no fire round questions.
Throw them out.
But we know we like to hit the mind, the body, and the soul.
Uh-oh.
But we're in an interesting time right now with the president and everything. So I know you've done entrepreneurship and mentorship and you around a lot of Black people that's thriving. So I just have some questions. These are yes or no.
Oh Lord.
No context. Just yes or no.
These are yes or no, but they are, pretty.
Are we getting through all the questions, or you don't think we're gonna make them through?
They're pretty contextual. I don't know if we're getting through all of them.
Okay.
Let's start with number one. I'm gonna gut punch you a little bit. Has integration hurt Black businesses more than it has helped?
Was it yes or no question?
Yes.
Hurt more than it's helped.
Yes.
How's it yes or no? You gotta say hurt or helped, right?
No, has it hurt more?
Has integration hurt Black businesses more than it helped? Yes or no? Has it hurt?
There you go.
Yes, or has it hurt? No. It's a tough one. I told you we can skip it and come back if you want.
No. I don't skip nothing.
He said I don't skip nothing.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
All right.
First one down.
I got my comments.
Nope. You say I can't elaborate. Y'all can't elaborate either.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Well, all right.
We gotta have a conversation.
I have my answer for this one, but I'm gonna let you answer. Do Black men face more pressure to be strong than other groups?
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Should wealthy Black people be doing more for their communities?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Is financial literacy more important than a college degree for Black success?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Is crime in Black communities more about economics than culture?
That's a good question.
No, that was
That's a good
That was
question.
a bar, right?
right. Hold on. I just wanted you to repeat it again because it was so
Repeat it
yeah.
Is crime in black communities more about economics than culture?
I'm going to say economics.
I'm gonna say economics too.
Yeah.
Are
That's a
too
great
many?
question.
Wait. Okay. Ooh, this is my last one. Is the black community more divided now than in the past?
Yes.
Okay. I want to go back to number one.
I want to go back to all of them. Okay.
Okay.
What?
Has integration hurt black businesses more than it helped?
And
Okay.
you said
He said no.
it hurt more. Oh, you said
You
no.
said it didn't
I
hurt.
said no.
You said no.
Okay.
So y'all tell me what y'all think and why y'all think.
So historically, statistically, back when we were segregated, more money was coming into the black community because we had to rely on each other. Even when the bus boycotts and all that stuff happened, we had our own buses. We were depleting the white buses of money. So they started to say like, hey, come on and start riding our buses. This is before Rosa Parks. Like, this is before, because they said, hey, you can ride our buses, but y'all got to sit in the back.
Right.
So then Rosa Parks came along, and then, that happened, and then we could sit wherever. But I feel like a lot of money, we're a $4.9 trillion community, and I just put a post up about this.
Right?
Yeah, spending wise, we spend that much money, but $1 only lasts in our community for about 6 hours. Correct. So, but a part of that is we don't have the black owned malls, black owned hospitals, black owned Walmart. Sorry, like they're not there. If they are, I don't know where they are. So that's why I said
we do play in that arena with them though, right? Like we don't have them, but we partake.
We can, but I think that our connections aren't as strong. So the products will be more expensive. So like instead of going to a black owned beauty supply store, you might go to Sally's, because Sally's got the same exact product for a lower price. Because sometimes black people can't afford to get bulk, the same amount of bulk as another culture will. So that's why I said I feel like integration I feel like it may have hurt a little bit more than it helped. But that's just my take on it.
So my little bit of addition,
okay,
maybe in a different direction of what you just responded, is I feel like integration combined with laws that were put in place over the time from when they started integration during the civil rights movement allowed for some more equality. Did we become equal? No. We know clearly that we've never completely been equal. But I don't feel like without the movement, without integration, we would have been able to make those achievements and move forward in those ways. So that's my only point there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely points on both sides. That's why I was interested in hearing from you.
Yeah, that's why you probably was toggling for a minute. Like,
it was definitely a tough one to say yes or no to,
Yeah.
because I've had these conversations. I mean, I can definitely see how one would stay on one side versus the other. I mean, because your point all valid, and I'm not a big history buff too, but I definitely agree with what you said and have read and heard it before. But I've also heard that argument presented before, and then the other side give a great counter. You know what I'm saying? And this is not the answer, but I just say, like, when you talk about like how much money we were making before that, somebody could say, well, how much was that? It's more about how much was it at the time. So let's say you put a number on it. Yeah. And then you partner with other people over here, and that number quadruples. And now you're able to feed your black family. And you was boxed in over here. I'm saying, what if? That could be the reason that somebody leans on this side more than that side. Yeah. And also, there's plenty of answers over here and over here. And then you talk what you said. I resonated with that, because I'm just gonna compare it to now. I know people that have great ideas, but they just grassroots for many different reasons. Yeah. And they didn't try to partner with everybody up in this circle right here that we all love each other and we kumbaya, but ain't nobody really trying to expand right here, and somebody trying to hold you back right here too. I'm gonna be doing like this, my bad. I'm saying, and so then, like, what I do right, I evaluate myself too. I say, wait a minute, pause. I was trying to make a point. I'm over here doing this. So you look, and then and then next thing you know, you make this partner over here. Yeah. That's a genuine partner. I ain't talking nobody just trying to jack the culture, but like just a genuine ally. And they expand you. A great example. I tell you, I just think about hip hop all the time, right? So a great example that you could probably relate to. 50 Cent. Like, so 50 Cent was trying to get on, making dope music, real quick, mixtapes, heavy, all that stuff. And he had got signed on to Columbia. It's all up here for everybody. You don't want to talk music. But he got shot and everybody left him alone. It was all his people. Left him alone. Everybody said they loved him, everything. And so I don't know if y'all remember his story, but you know how he ended up blowing up is Eminem found him. And Eminem said, I love this guy's mixtape. Nobody else at the time, they wasn't effing with him.
Right.
Eminem, white boy, different culture, different background, different coast.
Yep.
Found him, brought him over there, said, yo, and gave him the vouch, which was major at that time. I'm big on a vouch, by the way, too.
You need a vouch.
I ain't coming if you can't speak highly of them for me or whatever.
Yeah, that's
so anyway, put him on. Why this story is relevant is because he gave him his most money, $1 million deal, gave him the vouch, gave him the audience as well, and that, and only that, by the way, is when 50 really blew up. Let's compare that to what we just talked about. Here's this community here, love him, fuck with him.
Make sure, because I want to hear this. I want you talking to
My
Mike so
bad.
they can hear
His
it.
community is over here to the left, and they love him, they mess with him heavy, all of that. But then, when the things ain't looked the same, everybody vanished.
Yeah.
I'm not making a white and black thing because I'm definitely on the black side. But I just want to let you know, though, I'm on the real side, too.
Yeah.
And sometimes it take a situation like that where Eminem called him and found him, brought him over to the coast. And some New York niggas was like, why you going over to the West Coast? Bro, I'm trying to explain, bro.
Yeah.
And so he went over there. I'm still in New York all day, but I'm trying to expand. So he got with the West Coast guy. With Dre, you already know what happened. Sold 13 mil out the gate. Second album, 10 mil out the gate. Where he at right now? Killing TV.
And look what he's able to do for the community now.
Thank you. And so now he still can reach out and touch the small community that he came from. But imagine if he never integrated.
And I think my thing is too, because we had posted that video of you talking about us supporting our own people, and then people who have stores like a Target, I don't know where they are, but like we should support them so that they are able to become the Target. Somebody reposted it on their story, and he had a small business, and he was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, like if I had to depend just on black people to support my business, I'd be broke.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you know, I'm not saying that you can't take money from everybody. I don't care who is investing in it. I don't care if it's Jewish, white, Hispanic, whatever. I don't care who's bringing money into it. Right. I just wanted to go to our community. And we had this conversation last night. I was like, yo, what is the abolitionist, the modern day abolitionist? Yeah. Because we wouldn't have made it out of slavery without them. To be honest. Like Harriet Tubman, she gets a lot of praise and recognition, as she should. But it's a lot of white boys that was out there feeding us and putting us on the routes as well. So I think that it has to be collective. Yeah.
But going into another route, as I was thinking, like, what has integration helped us? We wouldn't be able to own homes, y'all. And y'all already know how much real estate makes us money, investment properties. We wouldn't be able to do any of this.
Without integration?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I feel like homes without integration.
The laws were in place? Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, if you talk about, like,
could the black man own a home before we passed laws?
It's weird to, like, that question is like one of just the big what ifs, right? Because it's like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
When we say, could a black man own that? If you say, well, we can go to, if we all can come together collectively and keep our dollars in the community, then we can own a lot of shit, right?
Yeah,
because it's all what if.
I'm thinking about Black Wall Street, because we had airports,
we did.
doctors' offices.
Okay.
We didn't have airports.
You're right.
I've been corrected too about the airports. We had airplanes.
We had airplanes.
No, there were different airports, but
so it's time to create
the black people owned all of the planes in the airports. Whoever fact checked me. So, anyways, all right, let's loosen it up. Let's turn off the pressure cooker.
We will get serious
for a minute. Is Vincent dating?
You know what?
I love this question.
I know you do.
I like that question.
I know you do.
Yeah. So you guys ask me anything? Yeah. I'm dating.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, special lady.
Okay. So is marriage still the goal for most people today? It's a lot of options. It's a lot of swiping. Back in the day, it was an event to date somebody, send a letter, or you asking their dad for permission. Now it's like you just like a picture, and then they might respond, they might not.
But do you even feel like it's worth it based on everything that comes with marriage, the financial responsibility? Like, I mean, there's two sides to every story. I'm just curious.
So what's the question? Do I feel like is marriage the goal? Is
marriage the goal? And then my secondary was, is it worth it?
Ooh, big sigh.
Man, no, I mean, listen.
He said, "Look,
I ain't scared of
I'm an open book."
Marriage is the goal.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been married before though.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute, because I didn't read about that in the
Yeah, I hope you didn't read about
in the
that.
bio. I didn't read about that in the bio.
That wasn't supposed to be in the bio.
But you say you watched the documentary. It's actually on there if you get to the end of it. That's how you watch the whole documentary.
No, I'm about 15, 20 minutes in. We were having a meeting and I had it in my AirPods
when you
finishing
get
it.
in there, my ex-wife was actually in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
roll the no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's there for sure. So yes, but I'm a fan of marriage. So marriage is the goal. Yes. Now my thoughts on it like change. And once you've been through it once, like, you know, you talk to anybody been through it once, their thoughts on it change. You know, it could be however, but you just have changes because it's like when you go through a relationship and then it ends and now you go to your next one, you just looking at it a little bit different. It don't mean it don't mean you're not with relationships no more, but you might look at certain things different about yourself and others, right? What you're looking for, etc. So, but for me, marriage is the goal. I don't have I mean, if I don't though, I'm not hurt over it, but that's the goal. Okay. Your second question.
Is it worth it?
So that's the question that I struggle with, right? Like, it's the goal for sure, but I think I've learned a lot in life. I'm gonna give you an example, like my not just my personal learning from being married, but when I was a foster care worker, I was a home study specialist. What I used to have to do, this kind of skewed my thinking on marriage. I used to have to do is go interview families to determine whether they're going to be eligible to get a child or not.
Right.
And I had to evaluate their home. I had to do like these really in-depth interviews. It was like counseling or therapy, but it was like rush counseling therapy. And I used to have to really dig deep to determine their mental health and everything. So that's hence the background.
That discernment was amazing for you.
It
came in play.
It was so amazing that we had guidelines we had to follow, like state guidelines. But after that, my manager would say, after you've done all the checks and balances, she said, you tell me, because they all believed in me, my discernment. So she said, you tell me like what your gut say. And she would ask me that every meeting because I had proven it. In 4 years I had done it, I had proven it. But what I learned from that was I used to have to interview the husband and wife. I do it together. And I do it separately.
Ooh, that's separate. That separate interviews sound like trouble.
And that separate interview,
you learn so much.
I'm listening to one of the questions was, have you ever cheated on your spouse?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And we asked it separately. And so we asked it together. Of
Do you
course.
ask like, have you ever cheated and have you ever been cheated on? Do you ask both of those?
We just asked if they ever cheated.
Only because I feel like somebody could lie here and then the other person would tell the truth and it'd be.
No, listen, and it's all understood. There's certain things I can't verify. You know, I can verify a bank account, I can verify all that stuff, but I can't verify that. But see, energy is important too, and being able to read people is important. So it's okay. It's okay to me if you lie because that still tell me something. If I ask you right now, you know, that question, have you ever cheated on your spouse? And you look at me and you know you did, and you say no, I didn't. Your face might tell me differently, or your body posture, or whatever, might tell me differently, or I might not get nothing. But
not you a human lie detector.
Yeah, right.
And I'm gonna give you an example.
Wait a minute.
I may say,
you can charge a lot for this.
Answered,
I don't know what you've been invested in, but you need to invest in yourself on this.
Yeah, I love reading people though. I love it. And so when she would actually like when my gut told me, I got plenty of scenarios to show you where my on paper said one thing, my gut said something totally different. And so yeah, like I would definitely just evaluate people, but the people would constantly. I could tell whether their marriage wasn't intact,
shaky.
Yeah, like I could tell. So I'm like, I think that scared me because I've interviewed so many families over years, and it was more that were shaky or not intact than there were more that looked happy.
Yeah,
felt happy. It was more that had lies. I have a thing where I can pull that out of people, you know. And so like when I interview, I could get all the answers, you know. And so much so they would tell me, they would say, "I can't believe I told you that. I haven't even told my." Wife or husband.
Your closest friends.
I'm like, why? You know, and we talk about it or whatever, and it ended up into one of them type of sessions. But like, they just wasn't happy. I would catch a lot of lies between people that live together, and that's not what I want.
Right.
And I want marriage. That's not what I want though. But there's so many people that got that going on. Is it worth it? And worth can be subjective, but that's one worth is like. I'm really big on not being lied to. You know what I'm saying? So like, is it worth it to know that somebody could possibly be doing that? Is it worth it financially? Because a lot of men will argue that we get to show and to stick it when it parts ways. Is it worth it in that regard?
I want a prenup. How you feel about prenups?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them.
Well, he got the lawyers on his side, so I'm pretty sure you already got a couple drafted up.
Got to come with a prenup.
Oh, listen. It
gotta come with a prenup.
Really? That's how you feel?
Gotta come with a prenup. And I'm not saying I I don't have millions right
Well,
now.
that's what I'm saying. I don't want me on.
It don't
like I got
matter.
it.
It don't matter. I listen.
I can tell that. Yeah, no. I mean,
It gotta come with a prenup.
Nah, that's real.
yeah, but if I get to where I'm praying I get to,
Yeah.
I'm on prenup time all the way.
Exactly.
But I'm not a fan of springing on somebody at the end. I'm big on that with anything. I do not like somebody to spring something on
That's
me at the
smart,
end.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of you think I'm supposed to know. Listen, the quickest way to get into a nice little debate with me is you think I'm supposed to know. And so
Yep.
So if I'm on prenup time, when I start with you, how you feel about prenups? And it don't matter if you agree with it or not. Let's talk about it early.
Yeah.
I might say how I feel in. We can figure it out. But over time, it's already been introduced early.
Yeah.
I don't do that like you
You
about
can't
to get
say you didn't
married.
know about it.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like I compare a prenup.
It ain't
to
nothing with me. You can't say you ain't know about it. You done found out, I said it, or you saw it.
Me and you both.
Yeah, I said it or
sometimes
you
I say
saw
some
it.
stuff
I
out.
said it or you saw it.
Sometimes I say some stuff out my mouth I probably shouldn't say, and I be like, "What was you think?" But you gonna know what you gonna know.
Yeah.
You gonna know some stuff.
Yeah.
I said it and you saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I compare a prenup to insurance. Cause I'm like, you got insurance on your car, on your house.
Yeah. Why you got it?
Sometimes you got it on your jewelry. What?
Listen,
I
and
might-
the divorce rate is high.
you
And
got-
that
yeah.
part, that's another answer to
So I
your
need to
question.
protect
Yes.
myself.
The divorce rate has been high forever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I need to protect myself.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm
well,
saying.
so the thing to me is like marriage it was created as a trade.
Yep.
Right? Like you would a woman or a father would marry off his daughter to a man. The man would then give the father land. It was very transactional. The basis of marriage is transaction. So even asking
Even to the Bible.
but even asking a man asking a father to marry their daughter, I mean,
give them
that's,
away.
Yes, that's old school. Like that is, I'm asking to trade your daughter for X amount of dollars or X amount of land or X amount of cows. Like it's something that has been modernized, but like it wasn't really created for the woman to be happy.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you a question, right?
yeah, for sure.
I have a lot of conversations about various topics, and so a lot of times the line "it wasn't created for" comes up.
Okay.
In all different categories, by the
Okay.
way.
Okay.
So we can talk about anything, and
Right.
then somebody can go to "it wasn't created for." I like to just push back on people to make them think.
Please
more.
do.
It's not like even me disagreeing. Sometimes I agree, but I just want you to think more.
Right.
So it wasn't made for. I always wonder, and I totally understand why people use that, but I always wonder, what is the real reason that you say you want to go to "it wasn't made for"? Because, for example, if it started here and this is what it was made for then, but we're here now. When we say it wasn't made, it wasn't made for a certain thing. What does that have to do with that? In the sense of, I know we know from whence we came, but we're here now, and it's probably changed 5, 10, 15, 20 times. What's the relevance outside of just education? What's the relevance of saying it wasn't made for this? And I'm saying that line is used for everything. Like if I say, man, I remember like I love my hats like that. You like, yeah, well the hat was actually made to cover some of your hair. I'm like, okay, but right now we're here, right?
Yeah.
And I like it, and I want to wear it. Like,
And,
what
but I understand the relevance of history. But sometimes people like stay on that, and I'm not saying you are. People, I challenge people. They stay on it, and they want to stay on what something was made for. But it was 70 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
I
your
want to
most
hear your
relevant
answer
piece.
to this, though.
For one, I completely agree with adaptation. I agree with Charles Darwin and things changing in order to match the times. I completely agree with that. But if this institution of marriage has shown me time and time and time again that it has not worked because the divorce rate is really high, and I'm just like,
What kind of evidence do you need?
But why
that
doesn't it work?
I don't.
Why do marriages not work?
Well, hold on. What evidence do you need that it doesn't work? Because you might just need to meet one that worked. Now you get evidence that it worked. Or you're saying percentages, statistics wise. Because if you just need to know does it work or not, you meet one couple that it worked, now you got to answer.
Right.
That's true, but I
I
guess
mean-
as well, like it depends on nature versus nurture. I didn't grow up around a lot of people that were married, and the people who were married, it didn't work out. So
that plays such a part.
that plays a part with me. And also I feel like I am a pretty like hyper independent woman. I don't feel like I need anybody to help me. However, I'm into finances. So I understand that 2 incomes are better than 1.
Come on.
And the white people be marrying off
Yep.
quick. I mean, like they go to college, I feel like sometimes to find a suitor.
In 21.
In 21. And that's how they've created a lot of wealth. So I'm
Come on
not
now.
unprivy to that. I'm just saying, if it happens It happens, and I'm completely okay with it. Ooh, I don't want to say this, but I'm completely okay with the marriage. I'm completely okay with the marriage being transactional because at the end of the day,
power in the tongue.
that may be what it was. That may be what it was created for 150,000 years ago. But
you
right
better
now,
hope your people's not listening.
I know, but right now, a lot of people base it off of an institution of love. Like when you think of marriage, or at least when people have brought up marriage to me, some people, not all people, but it's been like, oh my gosh, my wedding is gonna be like this, and I'm gonna be that. And I'm like, bro, you know y'all gotta be with this dude after that, right? Or this girl after, and it's like that doesn't come into play. A lot of people's finances are messed up before then. A lot of people don't talk about it, so now your credit messed up because now y'all are two entities that came into one. So I think it's a lack of knowledge around it, and just me being who I am and how I see it. It feels
make me want to share a story.
Please do.
Oh, no, you said you're an open book. So I guess you got to be an open book out here. So hypothetical character.
Hypothetical. We'll take out the part where you said this is your story.
Well, I won't say the name, but they would just know. But
right.
But yes to everything you said, by the way. And that's why I want to be transparent and say I'm still a believer. I think I always will be a believer in it. I think I will. But like, it doesn't mean it's not concern, because it's heavy concern, for multiple reasons. But to everything you said, especially the financial piece, so I'm just keeping it real. I normally wouldn't rate it up, but I'm just thinking about the fact that I went through that, like during COVID, right, when everybody was getting money and finding ways to get money. My my ex-wife at the time, she had access to some funds, right? It was 401k funds. Okay. And she normally couldn't pull them, but because of COVID, they put this clause in that you could pull them as long as you had a hardship, you or your spouse. She didn't have one, but my job at the time had let 60% of the staff go.
Maybe we got a hardship.
Now we got a hardship. So she said, "Can I use your hardship?" Pretty much. I'm like, "Go ahead." But I didn't like look into it. I just was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Didn't know how much she pulled. Like she kind of withheld that. And pulled out, let's just say, an enormously large amount, and had a ball. You know what I'm saying? Had a ball. And so later on, I was new to us filing together. I was just used to filing separate my whole life when it came to taxes. We filed together, and that's when the hit came right then. They was like, "Oh no, you could take it, but
you gotta pay taxes
boom,
on this."
Right? So they just got us with the and got us. Yeah. Now I ain't take it, but got us.
It's a household.
So they pour that, please. It was like,
you said this story deserves.
That. And so in a nutshell, like we both got penalized when I didn't even do it, and it come on my account. We both got penalized, and they had to break it up in like a number of years because we couldn't, pay for it at the time. And so when you mention finances, that's very important. Not even looking at like what their finances look like, but also like how do they maneuver with them in the sense of somebody else might hear that story and say, I wouldn't have took that out. But what if your person is just like, I see an opportunity for money, I'm taking this shit.
I'm taking it.
You got to know, do you have a person like that? Some things like that. And I bring it up to say that soiled me a long time on like the possibility of going that route again, as well as a number of other things. And I'm sure there's other people that can speak about them being soiled. Just it could be cheated on, whatever it is. Yeah. But it might not be enough to where you say I'm writing it off, and it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm realistic, and I realize one person doing something to me don't mean that everybody would do that.
It's just a lesson learned for you.
Yeah,
but that's interesting that you say that though, because of the trust aspect. Yeah. Like it's like you already go into something not trusting, or somebody has to earn it, and then they finally earned it. Y'all was married for X amount of years, and then they broke it like that.
But did she break?
No.
Break it? I feel like she.
I love that you asked that question.
Yeah.
So, two answers. Did she break the trust? No, because I didn't inquire about that.
Right.
To that one. Okay. But I'm gonna take you back. Had the trust been broken before that? Yes. And it was another situation that broke it before. Okay. And I love that you broke it down like that because I told you it ain't gonna be nothing about me that's gonna be blindside you. Right. Yeah. Meaning, everybody that fuck with me in whatever way, shape, or form, they know who I am in my story. Yep. I cannot say trust is a big thing for me. And if you know my story, you're gonna say, he probably got some trust things going on. Because that's real things that happen. Most people configure they would have trust, not issue, but just trust would be a thing. Trust is like at the top for me. Loyalty and trust, they they toggle between 1 and 2 for me. Over love, over everything. They toggle between that. And so that'd be the quicker way to get me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but to your point, like, I talk to people I'm in a relationship with, and I say, yo, like, trust is going to be major for me. I'm going to try to make sure I'm 100% transparent, honest with you, and that's what I want in return. And I think it's a cornerstone of it. Like, I have deep conversation with people, but I tell them how valuable that is to me. And so, if you hear that and you feel a way about me, I love you, I care for you. I'm not trying to violate nobody if I feel a way about them. Like, I love them and care for them. So if you claim you feel that way about me, and let's add the sugar on top, is that I went through hell when it comes to trust and stuff like that. Don't be in there violating that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So you already know that about me. So when you violate it, and can people do it? Sure, but if you violate it, it might be bigger for me than somebody else that ain't have to go through that because of where it falls on my totem pole.
That makes sense.
I'm so excited about this episode.
I know you
for
are.
one, I ain't even gonna have to edit too much because it ain't been no silence or nothing. It just been.
Just when you asked that first question, he was like,
"No," but even that you had to let the beat build. I mean, you had to let the beat build.
We're gonna have to put some good music in there. That's like,
yeah. But go ahead and ask your question that I like.
Oh, absolutely. What? I want to know why you love this question, but it's not a crazy.
It's not crazy.
The question is always, what's your first relationship that you remember with money?
Oh, that's a good question.
I love that question.
And I don't even know where I came up with this question.
It's a good question.
But it's my question.
It's my favorite question.
First relationship that I remember with money.
With the dollar.
Yeah.
Seeing
it or using it. Most
people say like allowance or like a Christmas grandparents, but
Well, yeah, I mean, was I getting allowance? Yes, but I'm thinking significant though.
Okay.
For me, that's not it.
Thank you.
So significant. I would probably fast forward to like teenage years. For me, I got my first job at 14, working at Chick-fil-A, and so that was just my first time earning a buck. Well. Oh, you know what?
Wait,
that's the wrong
when was
answer.
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A was hiring at 14?
Right, but no. How long Chick-fil-A been around?
I don't remember. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, you started with Bobby Brown.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, you started with Bobby Brown.
Don't do that.
And I don't remember having Chick-fil-A, so now I'm just over here like...
Well, I'm sorry if you only was able to go to McDonald's, but I had to go to Chick-fil-A.
Maybe not. And was. My mama cooked all the time.
It's a little tight over there, huh?
It was
Indianapolis.
I'm from Indianapolis. I don't remember Chick-fil-A at all.
Indianapolis?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You gotta give her
the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell? Come on,
wait a minute. Not too much on that town. Not too much on that
You
town.
came on the age, so we won't go. We can go. What we talking about?
Okay, back to Chick-fil-A. We started at Chick-fil-A.
She ain't know the Chick-fil-A.
I don't remember. It's McDonald's and Wendy's.
I'm sorry, you couldn't get past McDonald's.
I don't know if I remember Chick-fil-A
It's
until
layers,
maybe
right?
like...
So she couldn't get past McDonald's, and she's like, "Where Chick-fil-A
She
at?"
can't do it. She ain't never
I
heard
said,
of it.
how does this happen? Not in the hood. We ain't had no Chick-fil-A's.
Shout out to Brightwood.
Wait a minute. They told me to stop saying that on the pod.
You from Brightwood? What's
Yeah,
that?
it's just look it up.
What's that?
Just look it up.
Indianapolis?
It's a hood in
just look
Indiana.
it
It's like
up.
a real hood.
Why are we
in
talking about this?
Indianapolis.
They
I'm
told
sorry.
me stop talking about
Okay,
this.
I'm
They
sorry.
said I done
Shout
made
out
it
to
past
y'all.
that. We don't need to be
You
around.
didn't? Yeah, you
Well,
didn't even know
they
Chick-fil-A was around.
it probably mirror like Wickham or something like that.
Oh,
Chill.
yeah.
All right.
It's the Wickham of
Not too much.
Indianapolis.
That's rough.
Oh my God. Chick-fil-A.
But you know what? But I got to change my
14.
answer because I got to keep it real with y'all. My answer was going to be Chick-fil-A because that's when I was earning a
Income.
legitimate
Yeah.
book. But I got to take
Oh,
it back.
legit? Wait a minute, because you'll skip over that.
That's what I said. But her question,
Legitimate.
her question was first relationship. My relationship with it was way before that because
Right.
Yes, tell
I
us
used to
that.
just like even when I was a kid, I used to like hustle things like my just it could be
Chips,
things.
CDs,
Anything.
those
So,
type of hustles.
so the exchange was happening, and it was everything.
Good candy.
So the exchange was happening.
Okay.
So it was early on, and I think it's synonymous with like finding my own way to get that buck and negotiating. So that was as a kid, negotiating products or whatever it is. So actually, that's the answer to the first relationship with it. Before
How
that.
big is negotiations now? How does that play a part in what you do now? Entrepreneurship with your full-time job. How does that play a part in negotiations?
So it's funny, like the easy answer would be entrepreneurship because you think about you doing a contract, you're exchanging goods, money, service, etc. I love that you say it would work because somebody might not think about that would work, but that's a great question because I negotiate in other ways at work. I got clients, for example, that I'm trying to get self-sufficient and get housing. I have to like negotiate with them every day. Like to do little things like contact me, like call me. Here's why. Present your bills to me so I can help you with your bills. And let's figure out this money management. I got to negotiate with them because they fight against everything for numerous reasons. But I negotiate all day. So that's a great question. Like because the easy one is like the contract and money. But I'm really negotiating all damn day with people.
It's not just the money that you
it's
negotiate.
not. That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
I like spotting good questions.
We negotiate. We negotiate time.
Yes, we do.
Ooh,
and let me tell you something. Another thing I don't play with.
You don't play about your time?
I don't play my time. I will lay you out for messing with my time.
And that's why we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I'm serious. Listen, I was on the highway sitting there stuck, and I said, oh my God, like I'm so punctual.
Let me tell you, I said
I'm gonna be there at 5:31. I said, okay.
My friends will listen to this and laugh because they said that's Vincent. I'm gonna give you an ETA every time. In exchange, I'm gonna give it to you. I hate being late. It's so
I'm not so good in that
disrespectful to
area.
me.
I'm sorry.
It's disrespectful to me.
Might be
and
disrespectful
because
sometimes.
if you tell me to meet me somewhere, you get me waiting 15 minutes. I ain't heard nothing. When you get them, is my time not important to you? Listen,
you know what? Hold on.
No.
I say that, but with all the busyness that I have going on right now over the past like few years,
you're pretty punctual.
I am now. I didn't used to be this person. This is when
you
when you get all these things under your belt and you're doing all these things, you don't have time to be when my fun time is my fun time, that's fine.
Right.
But like when I'm on schedule.
Yeah,
I got meetings, I got things to do, I got money to be made. And if you playing with my time, we got problems.
I'm gonna tell you, you talked about something at your mouth earlier. Like if you play with my time, if you gave me a reason, it's different. Yeah. But if I'm just sitting here, I ain't heard nothing, and 15, 20 minutes go past. When you come in, I'm like, yo, my friends would say, I will ask you right there. So my time not valuable to you?
You know what? I'm sending a text message when I leave here. And this person might hear it, but I'm sending a text message when I leave here like, yo, hold on. I was just thinking about something. I don't think you care about my time. I don't think you find it valuable. I'm sending a text message.
I can let y'all interview my people that tell that nigga don't play with his time.
I want to ask you about this, though, because we done had a couple people cancel on us at 5:30, and we start recording at 5:30.
I
was
hate
beating myself up because I told you 5:31. I said I gotta speed and get
that. Oh no, you good?
We still carrying tables in
and get that one. I said. I'm a little OCD, right? I said I gotta get that one to move back. You know how you on the GPS and you can change the time based upon how fast you go. I said I need that one to get back to 5:30 because I feel bad getting 5:31.
Oh my God!
And then when that guy went to the wrong damn door, I said
no. But he was so sweet. He was like, what time the pie start? Because my car might get towed over here, but I can leave it over there. But
we are not doing that.
We good.
We're real flexible over here.
No,
but
we are,
do. Yeah. So any of our future guests that might be listening like that, we want to sit on the pod. If you know you have a conflict,
because I'm thinking of putting a cancellation clause in the thing.
Hello?
Yeah.
If you have a conflict, can you please just notify? Like, I understand maybe like emergency come up, but can we at least know the day before? Can we know the morning?
I would say
before I get to the studio,
2 hours before. I would say at least 2 hours before. Like
listen,
that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
The foundational word is respect.
Yeah,
like, that's it. All of that. It's respect, and I know, and I'm realistic. Though. I do know things happen.
Exactly.
It's people that be late to me and they tell me here's what's happening. That's why I just really want to say something just in case.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a buffer, but I don't play with my time.
I don't got time to play with my time. There's money being made right now.
I say to people, I know you may not. I say to people, and they all say, Vince, you get so smart. I don't mean to be that way, but I say you may not value your time, but I value mine.
Yeah.
What you want to do? Don't play with mine.
I have hired people to handle things for me so that they can use their time.
Come on,
instead of mine.
That's it.
Like lawyers, handyman. I'm renovating the house right now. Contractors, because people be all the time like, you don't want to paint your house? You can paint your house.
Absolutely
You can put the floor down. Huh?
Have fun.
You're gonna pay somebody every time.
Come on,
like because
I got meetings that I'm having right now.
You paying for the experience. You're not only paying for the experience, but you're paying for a timeline. Like they're gonna be done at X amount of time. They're going to Lowe's for me. They just sending me the receipts. You know how many other things I can do while they doing that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's
that's why the first thing I said when you came. Or when we started recording, I'm like, bro, time is our greatest asset. And we know that it's yours as well. So thank you so much for sharing some of your time currency with us. Because that is not, we ain't just bringing anybody up here. I'm going to just be.
We keep telling y'all.
I'm going to just be very honest here. You
telling y'all. The people we had on here.
You don't know who we know. You know, so I value that even more because I'm like, oh, I know you got stuff going on because I see it. It embodies everything in you. It spills out of you. Like when you show, because like you said, I think you said yesterday, you teach people how to treat you. And everybody who I've come in contact with, whether I've met them on social media, on the street, whatever, it done been some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it been some bullshit, and I'm like, you know what? I got to respect this boss ass motherfucker.
But I think also in that same point, like once you start seeing, oh, this is the spaces that I'm putting myself in, and you change your mindset, you gonna start
the law of attraction.
You start going, law of attraction. Them people gonna start being around you. Absolutely.
No, but you do teach people how to treat you too. Like, you think I haven't met people that just late just because? I know plenty of people like that, and I'm gonna tell you, my friends will tell me, they'll say, I'm late with everybody else, but I don't be late with you because I set the tone early. We got in an argument, we got in a debate. I had to leave you alone for a little bit. I was like, why you leave me alone? Because you don't never respect my time.
Right.
But once you ready to respect it, we get back together. We good. Yeah. And so then when they start fucking with me again, they don't be late no more.
Yeah. I got some people that didn't show up to my birthday, and I don't even know what this year gonna look like for them. Cause
talk about
and her parties be lit.
I like you. That's how I do too.
Because I listen, and I love y'all if y'all listening. However, I spent every dollar on it. I didn't ask nobody for a dime. I had a bar. I had everything going. I didn't ask nobody for a thing. All I needed was people to show up, and I don't really know if I. And I knew I couldn't make it, so I put my RSVP no in early.
There you go. I respect the RSVP no.
Yes, exactly.
I even respect the maybe with a reason.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But tell me.
Yeah.
I feel like. It ain't even. It is about my birthday, but it's like like people don't We ain't even getting into it. Respect my time.
Well, speaking of time,
right? I'm so weak.
We had you on the calendar till 6:30,
right? And we just
and it is now 7:05.
Yeah.
So snap.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
So how we wrap this up is we say our favorite quote and what books that we're reading. If you ain't got no quote, you done drop 1,100 bars.
Exactly.
So you got to skip that when you go with the bars. But we gonna start with Heather, and I'll go to me, and then I'll go to you if you had to give you time to think of some stuff. If not,
I gotta look at my phone. I might have one on my phone.
Yeah. She makes me prepare. You know, being an employee, they make you prepare around here. So I be like, hold on, let me make sure I got everything ready.
She could have a different quote every time.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go back to old and faithful. I'm not. All right, so what I got this week is my role model, the person that I, outside of my mom, that I just look up to. And it is the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them by Michelle Obama.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then right now I am reading Lovely One by our first and only Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the only black female on the Supreme Court Justice. That's what I'm reading right now.
Okay. Excuse me. My quote is by Maya Angelou.
Angela.
What is it?
Maya Angelou. It's the wine.
When you learn, teach. When you get, give. That's what Mother said. And the book that I'm reading is I Did Not Sign Up for This Life, The Millennial Guide to Adulting by Miss Heather Monique Allen.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. What you got, Mr. Vincent?
So what I want to say that our difficult conversation that's coming up on the 20th is about adulting.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Not a line.
Hold on.
So we definitely got to go to that.
That's what it's about.
What time is it?
We got to check the calendar. We might have to move some things around.
Yeah, we got to move some things. You want to go?
Yes. Okay. Are you kidding me? I might have to bring some books.
You control the calendar, so if you put it there, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about adulting, so that's going to be pretty interesting. But I love that quote. I found two. I found a scripture that I like, and there's a quote that I used to use back in the day. Very simple, but I should just have it ready for myself, and I should say it to others. Mm-hmm. We were not created to live a life of mediocrity. Therefore, we should always strive for excellence. So very simple. So I should say it to myself. I wrote it in. I had it as my cover on Twitter X because I always just remind myself, like, everything I do, I try to do it to the best of my ability. I don't like to half-ass nothing. So a lot of times when I found my friends and they talking to me and they calling me and asking for advice or talking about things, and when I hear like mediocrity, I'm like, I say that line. Yeah, what we put here for? We put here to be mediocre or be excellent. And like, no, but that sounds mediocre to me, yo.
Oh,
So I press my friends often, you know what I'm saying, on purpose. To be, because if you dare tell me, even if I see greatness in you, or if you tell me what your goals are, I always tell my friends you shouldn't have told me, because now I'm pressing you on them. You say you was doing what this year?
Wow.
Where we at right now? We in
Come on, let's talk. See,
So,
I gotta comment on that too.
Now keep it to yourself if you gonna be mediocre. Don't tell me.
And so I promise you, any of them would say this is Vincent. It's like annoying, but it's like you need it. And so I definitely get on their nerves with that. But then when they go achieve the thing, they come back and they be like, "Thank you for pressing me."
I love it.
And so just that we not. I don't believe we put here to live a life of mediocrity. So if we live that, we brought it on ourselves. I don't think we put here for that.
This is good.
So that's that. And then my quick scripture is James 1, chapter 2 through 3. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. And so why that's important to me is because even though like I can say I feel like I'm destined for greatness, and some would say I do all these great things, like I be hard on myself a lot, because to get to these moments of greatness, quote unquote, or success, quote unquote, I just get mad at how many trials I go through. I know none of us like trials, right? But like those that know my story, it's just riddled with trials. Like, it ain't even like a few, like it's riddled. From me, like not knowing my dad, finding my biological dad later, to growing up dealing with 16 years of custody battle, to all kind of other stuff in between that we ain't even touch. So many trials that I know, like I used to question like why I go through them, and then it would make me kind of question like what my path was, because I'm like I wouldn't be going through all this stuff. And so when I came across that scripture, it just, I don't know, it's you can find 1,000 scriptures, but just that one always stood near and dear to my heart, because it's like giving you the opposite. It's like an opposite lens. Like I was saying, like, woe is me, why am I doing all these trials? But this is saying like count it joy when you go through these trials. And it's hard to do that. Like, and so I when I start finding myself drifting back to that old mindset, I catch myself and I read that. That's why it's in my phone, and I say, okay, I can easily count this trial as negative or whatever. But how do I count this as joy? And when I try to think of a trial as joy, like it changed my mindset. And so that's the one that just stick out to me. This one particular one says you count it all joy because it helps build patience, which I need that too. I do struggle there, but also just in general, imagine counting a trial joy for whatever, and you have to push yourself to find the joy in the trial. You're gonna look at it differently every time, no matter what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with it.
I love that.
Thank you
I
so
love that.
much.
Yeah.
Well, like we said in the beginning, thank you so much for sharing your time currency.
Time
It's
currency,
one of your greatest assets in the world. You never know when it's gonna run out.
Before you close out,
go ahead.
How can we support you? We know we have the event.
Oh, I'm
coming
glad
up.
you said that.
You know, I got you.
I appreciate
I am your left and the right hand.
Love it,
I got
love
you.
it.
Left, right, the thumb, the big toe.
Listen, I be trying to show up where I need to.
I appreciate it.
Nonetheless, I know you have your event coming up, but what else and how can we support you? How can our listeners support you? What can we do for you? Yeah,
so first thing is the event's coming up. If you're local, the event's coming up February 20th at the Common House. You can follow my social media on IG at Vincent Ellis White. I usually post a number of flyers and things in my stories with the link and et cetera. You can also go to Common House website. It's on there too. I just want to see people pull up. But at the same time, it's an intimate setting, so it's not like I need 80, 100 people, but I just want people to pull up that's supposed to be there. And I don't know who's supposed to be there when they're there. You know what I'm saying? But that's that. So that's the immediate things coming up. Old items, but we did discuss it here today. Finding Chris My Father is the book. Finding Chris My Father is that one that detailed about my life, finding my dad. Much more interesting than kind of this quick synopsis we did, because the story is crazy. It was set to be a movie and everything. We didn't even touch on that,
right?
But it was, and so you can find it on Amazon.
What's going on with that? What a movie at? We getting a movie?
So I had a contract that I was optioned for and everything, and I didn't like the contract. My entertainment lawyer didn't like the contract, so I declined it. It was very tough for me because at the time I thought this was like my way out. You know what I'm saying? I was working at DCS Division Child Support Enforcement, and everybody thought I was about to go to Hollywood, and contract wasn't favorable. So even talking about finances, right? Our mindset, especially if we're not exposed to that, we just take whatever because it's my way out.
Yeah.
And I really fought my lawyer because this is my way out in my mind. And I was like 24, 25. I just wanted to sign a contract and be out of here.
We be chasing that bag, but
looking back, it was a trash. I mean, my lawyer saw it, and I thank God for him. I declined it, and it was a trash contract. Like they had, I would have signed away my likeness. My option to a sequel was automatically going to him versus somebody else. It was all kind of just trash stuff in there, right? So, I didn't get an opportunity after that. So I was mad at myself for a long time. Like, this was my one shot, and I missed it. But I ended up doing a lot of other dope shit. It wasn't on a national level, but I did a lot of dope shit after that. And so I was hurting for a while. I thought I missed my opportunity, but I would have been.
But God,
think about like TLC, how they went bankrupt and all that stuff. Like they had the popularity, but they was broke. I would probably had a movie, and I could talk about that, but I would have been broke or tied in. And so
yeah.
So support me is just going to the event on February 20th. Support me is following me on social media. All of my things will be posted on there. I don't need nothing else really, man. Just those two things.
Okay. I had to make a note as you saying that, so it might look like me. Yeah, you already knew.
She's been doing a segment on her TikTok, different segments about different celebrities that have had money issues. So.
Oh yeah, TLC for sure.
but
the autobiography. What they got? Documentary. Yeah, documentary.
Yeah. But y'all can follow Mr. Vincent Ellis White at Vincent Ellis White on Instagram.
Whole name, please. You heard him on the mic at my party, right? Say the whole name, please.
I love it.
I work hard for the whole name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I got one more thing I'd like for you to do. I'm gonna ask you a question first. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna make a statement. So the name of this podcast is Conversations Unearthed. Okay. What's the best podcast you ever been on in your life? Like ever, like in the whole world?
It's a setup question, right?
Yeah.
It's this one.
Okay. What's the name of it again? I forgot.
You know the name of it.
I love it. I love the setup.
Let me say,
he gonna say something like The Breakfast Club.
You're right.
I've been on a lot of podcasts.
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs, right?
That does. I don't know, man. I've been on a lot of podcasts.
Oh, well.
It's gonna be edited out.
Let me say
that's funny. You will leave right here. We're on the right one right now.
He said, this one.
We're on the right one right now.
I freaking love
That's
it.
like when somebody asks me my favorite episode is, I'd be like, the last one.
Yeah. The most recent.
Whichever one I did last.
The one you was on.
The one you was on.
That's it. That's it. What do you mean?
Let's get ready to wrap it up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace, blessings, and
good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Peace.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
That was fun. I had a good time.
Yes, that was good. Bye, y'all. See y'all. Oh, we got 2 people on right now. See y'all. We had such a good time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And absolutely, we got a lot of hearts on there. Good night. Oh, okay. Come through. Come on. Come on. Not the little.
Yeah, huh? What we talking about?
What's up?
What we talking about?
What y'all talking about? Period.
Yeah. Y'all see she only had McDonald's, right? No Chick-fil-A.
Y'all know what?
Stop.
But I got way more than that now, okay? Because we made it out all that. He's a hater. He's a hater. Why would you be a hater at this point in your life?
Indianapolis, they had no Chick-fil-A. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember having no Chick-fil-A. If we did, baby, it wasn't in my neighborhood, okay? Linda and Henry had food at home. We got food at home was the answer.
She doing a lot of talking, right? A lot of talking.
Y'all
I love
stop it.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Big peace.
No Chick-fil-A.